It's Magic 107.5, 97.5, the real sound of Atlanta virtual vibes. Listen, when you see me in the brim, just know. Now, I need you to do a close up on me. Just know that the one and the only Eric Roberson is in the building. What up, family?
Man, it's great, man. Listen,
I said, you not gonna show up today.
Look, I got a big head because that would be leaving with me right there. That thing nice. I know I can't fit it. I
Shout out
already
to
sized
Sherelle.
it up.
Yo,
Yes.
man. So my man E-Ro, what is the word? How you been?
Been great, man. Been busy, but been blessed, So no complaints, man. Feel creative. So I'm glad to be here talking with you again.
Man, and let's jump into the business. The new
Yeah.
single with BJ the Chicago Kid. I got time, Mister. I got time today. That's one of my favorite joints.
Indeed.
How did that come about? Because you guys got really two different styles, yo.
Yeah, just appreciation. We did a show many years ago, exchanged numbers and kept in touch.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking, man. He was at the time when we were first talking. He was a new father, and I think we were sharing a lot of just bonding that, and just kind of started talking music. So he was sending me songs, I started sending him songs, and that song kind of just connected, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, man, if you, I will take that second verse off if you hear something. He said, take it off. I said, all right. I sent it to him. He sent it back, and it was magic ever since from there, man.
I love it.
Real easy.
I love it. And then you've got shows coming up. Like you. Let me tell you something. You are one of the most performed artists out here. So it's like you, Music Soul Child, Raheem DeVaughn.
You gotta say Raheem.
Who else? I'm forgetting the name. But anyway, like
Avery Sunshine. I would say
Avery,
they
yep.
still on the road.
And you guys are constantly on the road. What do you like better, road or studio?
That's tough. I mean, you see, I got my son, one of my sons, my oldest, with me this time. So, road is always kind of bittersweet because you're away from the family.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. And of course, you're experiencing, people who've been at shows for the last 20-something years sitting in the crowd, and they become family as well. But I think studio is, a peaceful, humble, beautiful place for me. And I have one at the house, so I can do that with the kids. Kids coming in and hanging out too, and wife. So I think I would probably say studio, but both are necessary. I think I would feel, I wouldn't feel balanced if I didn't have either.
With your body of work and the time that you've put in this industry doing what you do, when you get a reaction from a fan, how does that make you feel now to this day?
Grateful, because I know it's not easy. I mean, I've been in the business for 30 years now, so. The newness might have worn off some. So for your cousin to have a response like that, or anybody, I always tell everybody, man, I've been in this business long enough to see a lot of people's dreams come true, but I also saw a lot of people's dreams not come true. And see how close it is. There's a very thin line between it happening and not happening. And I'm happy that my dreams came true. I was able to do what I love the way I wanted to do it, grow old making music, and so. When someone wants a picture, when someone has an emotional response to my name or a song, man, I'm honored because I know how I felt to certain people's songs. I know how I felt if Stevie Wonder or Roberta Flack or Shaka Khan walked in here, if Erykah Badu walked in here. You know what I mean? I know how much I studied and how much emotional reaction I would have to their music. So, wow, I know what that is. So if you had that for me, I'm honored,
When you say, and you brought up a good point, there's so many people that have made it and they've seen their dreams come true, but then there's people on that fine line and can't cross that finish line, but they work so hard. Why do you think that happens? Because with Virtual Vibe, we try to break the independent artists and help them get to that point. Why do you think it's hard to cross that finish line?
See, it's tough on it's a loaded question because, interesting enough, there are some people whose dreams came true and they don't realize it. I know plenty of people who are successful and not happy, and that's just as worse, right? But then there's also people that are unfortunately handicapped by perfection or procrastination or just whatever. It's so many random things. Or, DJ Jack Jeffs always has this great question when he runs into someone who is no longer doing music but had a career. and they'll say, "Oh man, well my manager did this or the label did that," and then he always go, well, "But what did the music do?
Mm.
Why you stop doing music though?" Like, for me, whether understand if none of this happened, we weren't sitting here, I probably would still be at a keyboard. I probably
Right.
would still be picking a guitar with a pad and pen trying to figure something, whether it was profitable or not. Because for the first 20 years of my life, at least the 10 years of when I was trying to do music from 10 to 20, I wasn't making any money, but I was doing it because I loved it,
Right.
right? And all them years in college, just trying to get better at it. So it's tough that we would get to a certain point, and if it doesn't make a certain amount of
Mhm.
money, I'll stop doing it. I run into so many producers who make $60,000 a year or $70,000 a year at a regular job, and I say, "Well, would you be happy if you made $70,000 a producer?" And they say no. Like, why not? You happy with this job making 70 or 60? Why wouldn't you be happy with this one? It's like for some reason the assumption and expectation of what should
Right.
come with it is so high that sometimes it just cripples us from even getting it. And
So
I'm
it
like, man, the reward is already there.
right, and some people sometimes don't even realize the blessing they have in front of them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I definitely understand what you that one. At this point in your life right now, you're happy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're grown manish. And when it comes to the family, like how's that come full circle right now?
Well, now I'm seeing my kids. My son Rock is on the road. I got three boys. I bring one kid over the summer to one leg of a trip,
Hmm.
and but he was just in a musical. I grew up doing musicals.
Nice.
My middle guy was as well. So seeing them take an interest in the things that I'm doing, whether they're gonna ever really take it seriously, because I mean, for me, I was trying everything, right? I think that's what we should all do, and see what sticks, what you're passionate about.
Right.
But I think that's the one thing that's pretty cool, is that you start to kind of see that I may just be the practice. That might be the real thing. You
Mm,
know what I mean?
mm.
And it's also extra purpose on um, pulling up in that driveway after knocking out a 5 shows or something like that. There adds a little extra purpose, there's extra sweetness in walking through the door and hearing that a different kind of
Right.
excitement, different kind of energy,
Daddy. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Oh, it's there's nothing better,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not just doing all this for me. I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for the family as well.
I mean, you've been banging out hits. That's the one thing I will say. If I don't say nothing else, your hits are consistent.
uh,
When it comes to putting out stuff, is it that you put out, let's say, okay, 3 songs, and you got some people to be like, okay, y'all let me know which ones y'all like, so I can bring it back and make it happen,
yeah.
or like, what is your checks and balances when it comes to putting out new music?
So it's so interesting you say that. So for me, I'm constantly making music.
Hmm.
So what it is that I'll keep making music, and then all of a sudden there's a run. There's a certain stream that connects, and I go, "Is this an album?" It's like, but other than that, we're just making music. And if it's like Jeff Bradshaw, you want this, or Najee, you want this, or whatever, or just I'm just working on something. But then there's something that connects. But if you didn't know, I have this group called The Process. I've had it for 10 years now.
Okay.
And it's grown now. It's about 2,500 people that follow me in the studio, and every song I do, every idea I do, I post it to them. It's on now it's on Patreon, and it's been a blessing because I get to see what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
So on this album, there's a song called "Fight Through It All." It was a song I just wrote when having a tough day. I just kind of wrote this little small day. Fight through it all, fight through it all, fight through it all to get to your heaven. And I was about to throw it away. I was like, eh. And I remember I posted it, and like 2 days later, they were still talking about it. And that showed me, I mean, oh, oh. And people were like, man, I just got diagnosed with this, or, I
Mm.
lost my job, and that, man, this song really, whatever. And it just created this conversation.
Right.
And it made me go, oh, I would have never considered this song on my album. I would have never even considered it. But
Right.
I clearly it has something. So that's been really helpful. And then I also have what I call a trusted ear coalition, where, and I think any artist should have
Should
that,
have that.
where if I'm trying to figure something out, I could send it to someone who can give me constructive criticism, but yet still keep me encouraged on finishing it. You know, somebody could talk you clean. It's missing this and missing that. Before you know it, like, bump it. You know, but I think I try to make sure that if someone comes to me with their art or their work, that I'm not talking them off the cliff.
Right.
You know, because sometimes also you got to think that they're working on the next thing. So if I don't understand it, doesn't mean it ain't good. It might be this is what's coming next.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I keep a circle of people around who help me to stay in the perspective I need to be to make sure that it's happening.
Keeps you in the present.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, after that, you sink or swim, man. I've had songs I thought, okay, this is gonna pay off the house, man. We good.
Right.
and it
We
went
outta
cricket.
here.
And it's been cricket. I'm done with y'all. And it's crickets. And then it's also some little fight through it, some little songs or
Right.
whatever that man, you gotta sing for the rest of your life. I didn't know what I had when I did Lessons. I had no idea.
Man,
I didn't know
Lessons is still so fire.
Yeah.
Yo. Lessons. And then the book, I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna end mine. The book that you had that is associated with Lessons, at the end of Virtual Vibes, I would always give a positive quote or something.
Man.
I was reading stuff out of your book.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the next book that you have, let me know. Like, you need to keep that up.
So it's funny you say that, because the next album is Beautifully All Over the Place, and I have a book that my only reason it's not gonna be out at the same time is my editor is still working on it. I have a book called Beautifully All. I started the book before I started the album, and I'm really, really proud of it. And each chapter is so it's factually all over the place, intentionally all over the place, artistically all over the place, randomly all over. And I'm really, really excited. I'm just excited about the book as I am. I think if you're reading certain parts of it, I think you'll be doing the same with this one as well.
I love it. Once again, it's Virtual Vibe. Eric Roberson, E-Ro in the building. Bro, I thank you.
Of course.
I thank you, yo.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like, let me tell you, you've been one of the first supporters of Virtual Vibe since it came out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. That's family right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell everybody the new project and your social medias and all that good stuff.
So you can catch up with me at ericrobersonmusic.com. The project is called Beautifully All Over the Place. What we're doing is we're waterfalling the album. We're releasing a song a month on streaming platforms. You can get the whole album on my website next week, but we won't have the album on streaming at least for another 4 months or so. But yet, if you want the album, if you want the book, you want the merch, go to ericrobersonmusic.com. You can find all the social medias and all stuff. It's all connected to that too.
When you have the listening party, let me know. I'm a host for you. I got you.
I love that.
I'm gonna bring a brand new brim.
Yeah, I'll be ready to compliment the brim to be the Brim Brothers.
Once again, it's Big Ray. It's Virtual Vibes. It's Magic 107.5, 97.5, the real sound of Atlanta.